Hi everyone, welcome back to Soul Lab.
Hi.
I'm Barbara with Beach Fitness.
I'm Allie with Soul Healing Essentials.
Hi, I'm Piata with all of the above.
Today we just wanted to talk about happiness and more of just a general topic, but in my experience today particularly, I just wasn't feeling fantastic, and normally I feel really good, and I think happiness came up in general as something that people try to create in their lives on a regular basis, and we have lots of different modalities to try to create happiness or try to steer away from anxiety and depression. But we just wanted to kind of talk about a couple of the things that we do on a regular basis to make us happy.
So happiness is basically 40% genetics and 60% what you do on your own. So that's obviously the bigger number here. So what are some things that we do to bring happiness into our lives?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that I do is sit in the sunshine.
That's
So
a good one.
That vitamin
That's a good
D.
one. Sit in the sunshine.
It's one of the first things I think about.
One, and just we were talking earlier today, it's a choice, man, and sometimes it's definitely not the choice you want to make. It's definitely the choice that you have to really reach for and grab, but just even, I guess chatting to your friends or spending time with your pet or whatever, but just really thinking about there's got to be something that I'm grateful for. There's got to be something that I can just pick myself up right now and feel good about and feel that happiness, because right now I tell you that is the last thing that's on my mind. And I think it's just important to remember that it isn't always going to be easy. It's not like I have to be happy 24/7. I mean, first of all, you'd all think I was crazy to begin with if I bounced in 24/7. But the other side of that is that it's okay, and it's also it's okay to have other emotions. It's okay to experience everything. But when you notice that you're just like, I'm just done, I don't want to be unhappy anymore, just you kind of have to shift that focus so that you're not focusing on the stuff that's really just grinding you at the moment, and just go, okay, I gotta stop, otherwise I will probably injure someone or myself. And just think about something that makes you happy.
So I will do that for sure. The first thing I'll do is list a bunch of the things I love as opposed to the things that are bothering me or the things that I hate. I'll find myself, even someone will text me and I'll just want to rattle off all the complaints, and I try to, even if I still complain to them, I still try to in my own head just rattle off the things that I love or the things that I'm grateful for.
I love that you said that, because actually it's all about neuroplasticity, the way that your brain changes. Your brain really loves to be rewarded, and it's almost like the law of attraction, so to speak. When you start focusing more on the positivity and the good things that are going on, like you said, you start writing things down. It is a conscious decision. You have to work at it every single day. You have to make the conscious choice that you are going to find things that you're going to be happy for, and your brain actually changes. Your brain loves to be rewarded, and it's going to continue to keep searching out things that make you happy, because it's almost like it's called the nucleus
accumbens. Finding Waldo.
It's the addictive center. So happiness it's an addiction, and your brain is going to continually keep looking for those things, and sooner or later, over time, those negative neural pathways are going to start closing in your brain, and those positive neural pathways are going to start opening up, and it's going to keep firing it off, which is really awesome.
Okay, so then if happiness is an addiction, or can be an addiction, and if we're searching for that, if we want to feel that way, sometimes it feels like we lean towards depression or we lean towards anxiety. So is that also an addiction? Like, is that something that we are I feel like sometimes I know nothing's wrong, everything's great, and I still lean towards depression on certain days, and then I have to fight my way through that in the sense that do the things that make me happy. But I feel lucky that I have all of those tools at my disposal. Some people don't even know about these tools, or they're just not actively using those tools, so they don't continue on that path.
Yeah, and I also think you have to think about it in a biological level or biological way also, because you know, when we're stressed or we're just feeling a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of different stress hormones that get released. For example, cortisol gets released, and exercise is a really great way to, like, you know, transmute that and get that serotonin going again. So again, it's just making those conscious decisions of, like, you know, waking up and even doing 5 minutes.
Yeah, no,
walking.
that's true. Sunshine and fitness.
Well, and it's also going back to, is it an addiction? Fight or flight releases endorphins, right? And if we're constantly stressed and constantly looking for things to stress about, I could see how that could become an addiction, because you then attract more stuff that stresses you, gives you that another kick of endorphins. Then you complain about the stuff that stressed you out, gives you another, you know, but your brain is then working constantly on fight or flight. It's constantly working on the endorphins. You know, even when you're not in a life or death situation, you kind of turn it into one, like, hello, you know, road traffic and, you know, rage and whatnot. But you do know those people. I think everyone right now, when I say this, you immediately picture that one person that just seems to just love to complain. And even if things are going great, even if the last thing worked out, they still think of, but this one thing didn't. And so, you know, but wait a minute, like, make sure that we're even acknowledging the good stuff that worked out and not just going to the next thing that didn't work out. And okay, so I've now got 90% of that figure out, but there's still 10, you know, it's that addiction to, I've got to complain about something.
Yeah. But just like we talked about nutrition, and just like we talked about a couple other things, I think choosing happiness is also a practice.
Absolutely.
Yes, you have to practice making those tools work for you. So today, all I did was it was a great day. Nothing happened bad. It was all good things, and I still was leaning that negative way, and I just wanted to find little things to complain about. So I had to actively change my mind and change my thought process, and then we sat down and talked about the things that made me happy, or the things I love, or things I'm grateful for, and there were a bunch of good things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and sometimes highlighting that there was a huge list of really nice things that happened kind of makes you go, oh yeah, that thing that actually made me bad really isn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, you know. But sometimes it's almost so foreign to us. There's just something that got triggered when you were saying that. I read in a book by Teal Swan, Shadows Before the Dawn, I think is the name of the book. But in one of them, like, she's talking about self-love in this particular instant. But what she gives you all these tools, and what she highlights though is that when she had no self-love, to actually almost give her self-love was so foreign to her. She got sick. And I feel like sometimes we forget that just to choose happiness feels so foreign.
Absolutely.
So it feels weird.
Yeah. It's not normal.
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age, it's definitely not normal. But we really want to emphasize that choosing happiness is not being selfish whatsoever.
Absolutely not. And, you know, and also the other thing is, how many times do you actually find common ground with someone by complaining?
I was just thinking the same thing. I think sometimes you bring yourself down to someone else's level because you'll connect with them on a certain complaint or something like that. And as opposed to, if you could just change the story or change the conversation to go the positive route, yeah, you may seem like the crazy person that's always turning it into the positivity, but overall it's just going to be better in general.
But then people also start noticing that about you, and I notice they stop complaining, which means you're not being, you know, sort of dumped on with all the negative stuff. And then, you know, different kinds of people kind of get attracted to you, and you notice that you're suddenly surrounded by people who are either practicing on complaining less, or just have naturally put that in their head that, like, okay, I could complain right now, but I'm just going to do it in my head for a little bit, and then I'm going to just turn it off, and I'm going to move on, you know?
One of the biggest things that was a real eye-opener for me was, you know, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And is it really me that's being unhappy, or is it my little circle of friends that is just, like, constantly complaining and bringing me down?
That's very true, yeah.
And once you shift out of that mindset of that's not what I want, there's just so much more. I'm spending so much time being unhappy. That's when things start shifting, and the people that are not aligning with what you want in life start to fall away, and that's when the better people, not better people come in, but people that are more in line with what you want.
Yeah. Well, and also you have to allow that to happen. I think that gets scary too.
It does.
You know, you change your mindset and suddenly people start leaving your life, and you go, don't go. But then you kind of go, what? Actually, maybe go. You know, it doesn't mean that you wish them harm or anything. It just means that you'll be seeing a little bit less of them, and that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely,
It's
that's okay.
All right, well, let's just kind of go over the couple of things that we each do every day to make ourselves happy. So I'll start. Mine are sunshine, fitness, good nutrition makes a huge difference. Eliminating sugar makes a huge difference. And gratitude. Gratitude and love.
Attitude of gratitude. I love that. What about you?
I meditate. I definitely make that conscious effort to meditate, and by putting like a positive statement into my mind. So if I'm just really, I just go, okay, everything's fine, and I kind of try to talk my way through. I spend time with your dog. You can't help but
Let's bring Big in here.
but
Come
feel
on,
better
Big.
when he's jumping around you and just they're so in the moment, and how gorgeous is that?
And he's just always happy.
And he's just
happy,
always
yeah.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I read. I maybe even sometimes turn on a YouTube video that literally is like, you must
Laughter
be
does
happy,
make a huge difference.
or just find something funny to do, but not to bring it down, but sometimes I do actually even just allow myself, okay, fine, I'm just gonna be unhappy for a little bit, and just allow it, and then go, okay, are you done? Okay, now you can leave me, and I'm gonna now choose to be happy, like almost allow
I do
the
that
moment
too.
to just kind of.
Yeah, I actually think that's
Yeah.
really important to feel it, and just kind of use that as a reminder. It's like, I don't want to feel like this anymore, so I'm gonna go to my anchors. For me, in my phone, every other hour, starting from 5 a.m., I have affirmations on my phone that ding off, and
that's a good
I made
idea,
a deal with myself that I have to speak them every single time. Every time it buzzes off, it's like an affirmation, and I physically, verbally say
I
that
have
out loud.
affirmations on my phone.
Oh, I love
too.
that.
I do too.
I just forgot all about it.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
I think it's really important. It helps keep that neuroplasticity going in your brain on bringing more positivity into your life.
Just changing that mindset.
Mhm.
Well, and there's so many tools. I mean, just this week I've actually bumped into new tools, but I'm sure a lot of people have heard of A Course in Miracles, but even something like that, I chose A Course in Miracles because it kind of spoke to me. But you have, finding a system where you've got like the sentence for the day, and that's, so then you already wake up and you already kind of have homework, and then you're busy doing your homework. So in some ways you kind of don't even have time for some of the stresses, because you go, I don't even have time to even let that, because I got my homework, and you rise and you are prepared for the day, and you've got like almost like a mission for the day, and then you go to bed and you go, I did okay. I did good today with my sentence, I mean, that makes a difference too.
Well, good.
I think
happiness is such a broad subject, so we're definitely going to be talking about it a lot more.
Because there's so many tools.
There is so many tools,
Yeah.
but it was so interesting. I was having a conversation with my friend Whitney, and in personal development, they're always talking about growth and doing things to grow. And one of the questions is like, well, how do I even grow? Like, what are the tools? And I'm like, that's where we come in to play. It's like, we'll hand you the tools of what works for us, what works with our friends, and
we'll be the
a
guinea
tool
pigs.
is going to the beach and sitting in the
Yeah.
sand and
Yeah.
getting, even if you get sand all over you, vitamin D.
Or go hang out with, someone's puppy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can even add a little photo here. Oh my god. Let's see if that works.
Let's see the big.
There's our big.
So that's big.
Like, what?
Come here, baby. Come here.
Well, I think that's us for today.
We're all
Thank you
happy
for
now.
joining us. Our topic of the day, happiness. And join us
Yay.
next week or our next video. And we're hoping to go live soon. We're just having a few technical issues still, but we'll get on that.
Mercury retrograde.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.